How's everybody doing tonight? Looks like we have a few people on so far. Hope you guys are well and healthy. Hi, Scorpio 333. How's it going, lady? Thanks for your message today, by the way. I appreciate that. Chilling. I love it. Self-care. Self-care. I love it. We all deserve that chill time, right? Like, just to unwind and just, like, decompress. So I'm going to be doing medical medium readings today and energy readings. I'm kind of trying to get caught up. Such an amazing response to my post about doing readings. So I figured this would be a good way to get caught up because there's so many, I can't get to them all. Janet Haley, 67. You feel like, I'm actually just going to get right into it because your energy blasted me. It like came right through, like bam. So Janet Haley, 67, right away when I saw your comment, your whole body feels engaged, like every muscle is contracted. You feel very much in a fight or flight state right now. And I think it's old energy. I don't think anything's going on in your life that would be so much that you would have to be completely like holding your breath and hammering down and just go, 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 go. And you feel like you're you're that person right now that's taking on as much as you can to keep busy because that's all you know. And I feel like the second things slow down, you get restless and you feel like you forgot something. You feel like maybe it's almost like, what do I need to do? I have something to do. And then you literally think of something that you may not necessarily had to do, but you feel like you need to do it. And this is coming from about 3 years ago. It'd be right up before COVID. It was like the year before COVID, and then COVID hit and it was just like a storm. And I don't feel like you need to be like that anymore. I feel like things are settling. I feel like the storm is calm and this is like your time to heal. So it's, let me think about this for a second because it feels career, but not career like 9 to 5. Let me think for a second because your neck is killing you. You have a ton of pain in your neck. I feel like it even goes like back behind your ear. You clench your teeth in your sleep. Your jaw feels really tight right here, and that feels connected to your mom. Kate Lee, 814, hold the phone, one sec. If she comes through, I'll let you know. I'll hang on to that. But Janet Haley, 67. So the pain is in the base of your neck. So I feel like if you were to do this, it would really stretch things out. But then when you raise your head back up, it feels like everything re-engages. And it feels connected to your mom. I wish I could see a photo of your mom because I feel your mom's energy and there's issues there. Am I right with that? With your mom's energy? It feels like the typical, and I'm a mom, so I can say this, but the moms, like, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you know this? Did you constantly like on you? And she's created a space where you second guess yourself now. And it's almost like, it's a solar plexus issue in your stomach. So I feel like you're holding tension in your stomach. And it feels connected to your mom. The jaw is connected to your mom and there's issues there with voice, but that feels like teenager years. From like 16 to about 21, 22, there were issues there. She passed in 2012. Okay. So I feel like though it would have been 2019 when things got really crazy And it was about 4 months ago when they finally settled. Yeah, for sure, right? Because it feels like you guys had your differences. Knowing now that she passed, I feel like I am picking up on old energy then, because I feel like I'm picking up on your mom on your jaw. That's communication. And so that must mean that you guys had differences. Oh, it's your daughter. Okay. With your mom, is it true though that you guys had differences like any mom and daughter, but yours feel more intense? And then you guys kind of came together in agreement. And then you guys, right around the age of like 26, you were really close. Oh, your brother passed in May. I'm so sorry. So that makes sense. Oh, you were her nurse. Okay. So I got a sidetrack on this with you being her nurse. That's the fight or flight that I'm feeling. And that's the energy that's going up and down your entire spine. Because I feel like your spine, like this is your spine right here. It's like squeeze and then pain trickles down, and then squeeze and then pain trickles down, and it goes all the way to your tailbone. I think that's the stress I was feeling that I said felt like a job, like a career, but not the 9-to-5 career. That's the energy I'm feeling. It's the stress of taking care of your mother and being her nurse. That would traumatize anybody, regardless of relationship. And that would create pain up and down throughout the spine, because mother-daughter, that's like the foundation of your being, is through your spine. That's like your pillar. So when you have a bond with a parent, whether it's mother or father, but with daughter-mother, it is especially stronger just because we have that bond of mom, right? Like that maternal bond. That would make sense with that pain. So, yep. Okay, thanks. So, time to release. Hang on. Your mom passed in 2012, your brother in May. One sec. Something's coming through on your thyroid. Are you having what possibly feels like maybe thyroid issues? Like you're flat, tired, no energy, and then every now and then you get a lucky day where you have energy and you're like, oh my God, I finally feel good today. And then the next day you're like, shit, I'm back to feeling like crap. And then it's every now and then you get a day where you feel really good, and I think you feel like maybe it's my thyroid, maybe my hormones are off. That is your mom's energy, in that she is with you, because the thyroid, yes, thank you. So the thyroid and the thymus chakra, the thymus is where like the growth is of child. So when there's the growth of child sits on the thymus chakra, because that's the gland, the thymus gland, when we're born, that secretes our hormones up until puberty. And right around the time of we reach puberty, the thymus gland is almost nothing. It shrinks more and more as we grow, and it secretes less and less growth hormone. So with the maternal bond of mom, when there's like abortions or miscarriages, I'll see it on the thymus chakra. But with your mom, I'm seeing the bond. And I can tell she's with you because it's a very bright, it almost looks like a light on your thymus chakra. So I can tell your mom is with you. Messages are not coming through, but I'm feeling her illness, and I feel like it's in her chest, and her chest feels compressed, and it feels like it was cancer. And her whole body, oh, so she's here, and she's saying, don't worry, I wasn't in pain. Because I think towards what feels like might have been the last couple days, you were really worrying that she was in pain. And that was like the one thing you kept asking was, are you in pain? Do you need anything? Are you in pain? Do you need anything? And I feel like end stage COPD. Okay, that totally makes sense, because that compression, like the shortness of breath, like not being able to breathe. So it felt cancer, but COPD definitely makes sense. So she wants you to know she was not in pain. And she also wants you to know, of course, to thank you for taking such good care of her. But there's something more specific about your daughter and she's saying something about wings. Like she's going to have big wings, like your daughter's going to need to soar. And I feel like you were the same way. And she's like reminding you, don't forget, you were the same. You had to soar, you had to make your mistakes, and you had to fall and get up. And I feel like your mom at that time in your life would watch, and she was always there for when you would fall, but then she would pick you up. And I think she wants you to be the same with your daughter. She's like, let her have her wings. She'll be okay. And I think the reason she's saying that is because she's with your daughter too. And she's going to kind of like keep her in check. So with that, I feel like your daughter is going to have some moments where she's going to be humbled in her behaviors. Because she feels like most teens, but she feels a little more like ego driven right now. She's in a space of ego, and it's really been a challenge for you. So with that, she's saying like let her have her wings. Let me know if this makes sense. Thank you guys also for the roses. It totally does. Okay, thank you for that. So Janet, real quick, and for anybody watching with neck pain connected to trauma, the way you want to do it, and I'll get back into the medical readings, but I kind of go wherever energy takes me. So even though it says, yeah, energy medium readings, when people come through, I'm not going to push them away. And someone has a dad. The guy's been following me around for like 2 days, which is why I'm on here. I'm hoping it resonates. But anyway, Janet, do this with your neck and tip your head down and tip. So you're going to sit tall with the shoulders back and everything relaxes. Like literally like this, but keep your back straight and let your shoulders fall and tip your head to the side and take deep breaths and then roll your head down. And all breathing, inhaling and exhaling is through the mouth. Keep doing that. And then the other one, hug yourself. So fascia maneuvers, I'm taking a class in fascia, which is the tissue, or excuse me, the fluid in our body through our tissue. You're going to wrap your arms like this. You're going to give yourself a big hug, and you're going to squeeze really tight and take a deep breath when you squeeze. And when you exhale, you're going to release and kind of let your arms fall. Okay. So do this a few times, and then you're going to twist to the right, and you're going to tip your head that way. And then you're going to squeeze again, and then release and exhale at the same time. And you do it 3 times on that side and 3 times to the left, and do it again. And you turn the head the opposite, and you squeeze really tight. Warning, you'll bawl your eyes out because it's a huge release, because you're squeezing that chest space and you're just squeezing the heart, and you're like, it's okay, you can release. And you release, and that energy comes out. So you'll feel that energy. And then of course, let your mom know she's with you. And by the way, do you have a table? It's a little brown square table. It looks like it almost has like a doily on it. And there's a candle. There's a little, really cute little vase of flowers. There's a picture of your mom. And then also it looks like family photos. Your mom wants you to know she sees it. That just came through. And it's a really neat little setup. It almost looks like an altar for your mom. And I think it's by the front door. It's by a door. Do you know the side door or the front door? So yeah, let me know if that resonates. It's the front door. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, she sees it. She loves it, and she thinks it's amazing because she knows that you're thinking of her and talking to her every day. And she's like, I'm right there with you. I'm there. So she sees that. That's amazing. Julie F. Wade, what's wrong with your stomach? Whoop, Oops. I hope you, okay. Julie F. Wade. I got to think about you for a second. Let me tap into this, and then I'll go back to medical readings too, you guys. I'm going to kind of go all over the place, I think, which I love. I like that when there's no agenda. I almost want to just start doing, and actually, guys, I would love your feedback on this. If I were to just have my services be readings and just have it be general, because I have medical readings, I have mediumship, medical medium, I do energy readings. I'm almost like, I think I'm just going to have my readings be one big reading and have it be an hour and a half and just have one price, because I like most of my readings, if someone has someone that passed, they come through almost in every reading. So I'll be like doing Reiki and their relative will come through, and I'm not going to be like, oh, sorry, this is Reiki, we can't talk right now. I let them come through. So just a thought. Julie F. Wade, with your stomach. So this actually feels like stress in the solar plexus, but this is connected to work and a really crappy relationship before your marriage. You're married now, right? You feel like now you're with a good guy. Like he feels like a teddy bear guy. But the man before him that I feel like you were with for a couple years, he feels like a controlling, just not a good person. And his energy is in your stomach, because anytime or like that you had any type of idea or thought or, hey, we should go here today, he would go, why would you want to do that? That's stupid. Or, do you like this outfit I'm wearing? And he'd go, nah, well, you look nice in it, but I mean, if you're going to wear that, that's okay. Like, he would never just allow you to feel good about yourself. Like, there was always something that he would have to critique and find wrong in you. But then he would be like, oh, but don't worry, you're beautiful just the way you are. Like, he would constantly almost like try to cripple you in like identity of self. And then what happened was, in this relationship, I feel like your family started having issues. And what happened with the family is created stress. And it feels like family and work, like everything just went crazy. And so you didn't have time to almost like put energy into ending the relationship. It was like, I'll give it a little more time. Maybe he'll get better. I'll give it more time because I'm going to go deal with this, and then I'm going to deal with that. And then you would come home, and it got to be where you just didn't even enjoy coming home. And when you would come home, I feel like it was like this. Like you would have to like hold your breath, like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Because you didn't know what you were going to walk into. And he feels really toxic. And he also feels like the type of guy, when he's unhappy, he takes down the whole ship. Like if you're in the room with him and he's unhappy, everybody's going to be unhappy. And that issue in the stomach feels, so illness-wise, physically in your stomach, it feels very bloated and uncomfortable. Like feeling your stomach, it literally feels like it's got like glue. Like I feel like even if you drink water, if you could like feel it churning in your stomach. And I also feel like certain foods, which to me it seems like it's unpredictable. Some days you can eat them and some days you can, but your stomach gets upset easy, and every night before you go to bed you are kind of crampy and gassy. And I feel like just about every morning you wake up, you have no appetite, and your stomach, it's almost like a full feeling, but it's kind of a queasy full feeling. And it takes you a couple hours before you eat breakfast. Like you eat breakfast at work. And it all, to me, feels connected to stress. And a crappy relationship that you're still carrying that energy. And if you comment, feel free to comment in bold print so I can see it. And thank you so much, you guys, for the kudos. I really appreciate this. All the kudos and the flowers and the coins coming through. It's really sweet. Makes sense to me. Okay, so with that, start taking more time to breathe, because I feel like the other thing is it's diaphragm stuff. It's like the diaphragm issues with breathing. You guys are amazing with all the hearts, and I love it. Thank you, guys. Deep breaths, but you have to contract your stomach. and exhale. I'm really big into breathing, you guys, because I swear it saves your life. There's all these modalities out there, and I'm over here like, take a time out and breathe. Everything else doesn't matter. Breathe. So of course I'm not a doctor and I don't have that kind of medical experience, but all I know is the people I've worked with, when I show them how to breathe, they get better. It is what it is. So when you breathe, exhale, and you want to inhale as long as you can and keep your stomach contracted. So tighten the stomach first and then take deep breaths. And then when you exhale, let the stomach muscles relax. And then tip to the side, of course, and stretch, full body stretches where you bring the arms behind your head. Inhale and like that. And also, I do feel like you need to drink more water. I think you just don't drink water because your stomach just rarely feels good. So you don't drink a lot of water. And I do feel like you drink Diet Coke. Do you drink Diet Coke? Marlene Beach 17, my reading prices vary, but message me at my Facebook at Define Your Glow. And also for those listening, thank you so much. I will never message you through TikTok unless it's to like confirm something, like we're already in communication. I will not message you for a reading. I will not spam you. You will not hear from me at all through Messenger and TikTok. I do all of my communication with clients and anybody new that wants a reading through Facebook. There are like a ton of spam accounts out there with my name on them, and I'm trying to report them and keep track of them because they block me, so I don't see them until someone tells me about it, and then I have to go to my other account. Like I have an account that I just use to make sure my account stays safe, but I will never message you through TikTok. You will have to reach out to me at my business page, Facebook, which is Define Your Glow, and then I can share the prices with you. I can go over what services I offer, because there's a ton of them, because the energy is everywhere. So I have a variety of services that I offer. Okay. So Alicia White, this is going to be kind of quick. Your high-risk pregnancy feels connected to the stress around your dad. He has passed, correct? And Alicia White, if you could continue to comment in bold so I see it. Everybody else stay in normal font. People that I'm reading, because it's hard to see the comments because they're like scrolling through. But Alicia White, that does feel connected to your dad. There is so much stress around your dad, and you never got to step away. I feel like there's still things going on. But let me know if he has passed, because if he's passed, it feels like it would be recent. Mama Goldski with your dad, Big Dave. I would almost guess that's the dad that's been around me for 2 days. Hold the phone though, okay? Let me finish with Alicia White 8. I'm just writing down notes. But yeah, Alicia White 8, I do feel like it's connected with dad. Willow Spirit 21, it's kind of cool how spirits tell me they're there, because I just hear them. They either come from the left or the right, and it's just very subtle. Well, that's not true. Some of it is like, hey, but they come to me and I can like feel it. It's usually in my arms. Like I'll just kind of be like, okay. And it'll come to me. And then if I'm not on a live or with the client that person resonates with, it's really cool, because the person they want to communicate with will come into my space usually within 24 hours. It's the coolest thing. Sometimes they don't, like this dad that I've had following me around. It's been 2 days. But like I had a client I had scheduled, and her dad, she was scheduled out several weeks, and her dad was every day, is it time? Is it time? And I was like, not yet, but if I get a cancellation, and I was literally like talking to a person, because I'd be like, well, if I get a cancellation, I'll definitely reach out to her. And I was like, is this really how this goes? Oh my God, this is amazing. And every day I would hear him somewhere throughout the day, just real quiet, is it time? And then he would go away. Like, it was really cool. But the communication with them, I feel like they're in control of it. It's nothing I have control over. The only thing I can control is if I want to respond. Because there are times where I'm like, not right now, like, stop. But it's beautiful when they come through, because it's even the ones that had bad relationships with people in life, they could be like the meanest people, and they'll come through with a different type of energy, and I'll feel it and know that there were issues, and the person will be like, oh, I hated my dad, I don't want to talk to him, blah. He would never come through. There's no way he would come through. I didn't talk to him for 20 years. And I'm like, no, he's here. He loves you very much, and he wants you to know he's very sorry. And it's really, really cool. Okay, so Mama Goldsky with your dad, Big Dave. Are you on here? Because Mama Goldsky, I'm going to describe your dad. Thank you, Willow Spirit. I appreciate it. And I just saw another comment about readings. Message me at my Facebook at Define Your Glow, and I will never message you through TikTok. That's spam. But Mama Goldsky, I'm going to go ahead and describe him, and let me know if this resonates. And I'm watching for your comment to come through. Oh, Tinker T, I'm looking forward to your session. And I saw your comment, Tinker T. I saw your comment, and I wanted to do a video, but I keep losing people's comments because they get buried. So if I come back across your comment, I'll make a TikTok and respond. But I am looking forward to your session for sure. And thank you for scheduling with me. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I don't see her either. Dang. The whooshing sound, oh, I have to answer this one. Stevie's Loan 728, PTSD and trauma from your birth. Now you're talking about when you were born, right? Stevieson Loan 728. You're talking about from when you were born, correct? Because that 100% came through on your health. Like, and it's not like a PTSD. It didn't, to me, right away when you messaged that, I was like, your energy, it was like opened like a book. And let me know if this makes sense. So the PTSD, usually when I feel people with PTSD, like when they've been through something, veterans, oh my God, veterans, just side note, you guys, please love your veterans, military veterans, because holy cow, their energy, when it comes through on almost every session, I have to take a nap after because there's so much trauma, or I cry. They have the most beautiful energy because they just want to go back to being loved and loving people without fear. It is they're the most beautiful readings. I love them. And their energy is amazing, and the courage is insane. But their PTSD, in general, someone PTSD, it feels like a punch to my chest, and I'm like, ooh, and I have to tap into that, and I like talk to that feeling, like, okay, where is that? What's that coming from? Yours immediately felt like to the head, like physical trauma, not emotional. I feel like your birth on your mom was very hard. Thank you. Yes, and through childhood. Okay. So the birth feels very hard on your mom, which means it was very hard on you. And I feel like you weren't breathing. So I feel like now you go like this. When you're under stress, it's like this. And you hold your breath and you get through what you're getting through. And you breathe very inconsistent when you're under stress. Like you would be the type, if there was so much stress, you would get like dizzy and pass out because you like stop breathing. That to me feels connected to your birth in the sense that you were born not breathing. And I also feel like they had to use the scepter, to pull your head out. That feels very traumatic. And I also feel like you have headaches from that. I feel like you have had headaches your whole life. And the other thing that I feel like, was your mom a young mom? Oh, you totally catch yourself doing that. Thank you. Was your mom a young mom? Because she feels kind of like little and petite. She feels like she was like 19 or 20 when you were born. And then it also feels like she was kind of an immature mom. And the decisions she made weren't the best. I mean, like juice box at night, stay up till you tip over. Some things that some might consider neglectful, which created trauma. And I feel like you were always at somebody else's house. She was 22, 5 foot, 90 pounds. Okay. Yeah, that's her. And I feel like you were always at somebody else's house. Like she'd be the type to be like, okay, let's go to the friend's house. And she'd like put you on the floor and then hang out and hang out with her friends and do her thing. And then every now and then check on you and then pick you up and go to somebody else's house or drop you off at grandma's. And I feel like, and the reason I'm saying this is it's in your root chakra. It's instability at home in childhood. So now, yes, thank you. So now what's happening is here you are in your life. You have issues with shortness of breath. You have headaches that come at you for no reason, which sometimes you think might be stress related, which sometimes I do think they're stress related, but there are issues there. And then you also, even when you're in your home, you're like, you're trying to like get it to feel like home. And you have a hard time with that feeling. And I think the reason is because once you finally got established into the idea of home when you were younger, it would switch on you. So it was like, it's the second you would get comfortable and start to feel settled and home, it would change. So now you're in control of you and you're settled and home, but now you can't get settled. It's almost like you're waiting for something to come at you from the left. There's a disconnect there in getting comfortable with the idea of home. And I almost feel like you move a lot just because that feels normal. Totally on point. Thank you. Thank you for that. So yeah, you would move a lot. So that makes sense. So with that, yes, the PTSD is from birth for sure. Mostly the physical issues, which also, hang on a second. A pain came through. Is it your right shoulder or your left? There's a kink specifically in the joint on your shoulder. Like if you were to go like that, like you can't do this. It stops like right there. And if you raise your hand up, it pinches. And I think it's the right shoulder. Like you almost have to do that sometimes and like stretch it down. There's like a kink that's connected to trauma of childhood. Right shoulder. Okay, yeah, because it feels like the right. That's connected to childhood trauma. And that to me feels attached to a male in your childhood. I think it was either a boyfriend of your mom's or a stepdad. It wasn't your dad. It was either a stepdad or a boyfriend. And his words were sharp. Like, hey, Dad, can I get a drink of water? No! And you'd be like, and it feels like the constant like jump if you would talk to him. And you were, the other thing too, as a kid, you were very smart in reading adults and you could read them like a book. And so when you were treated poorly, you just disappeared. And you would like lay low and stay under the radar. And you learned very fast how to take care of yourself. And you learned very fast how to get around like self-sabotaging adults that couldn't handle their shit. Like, you just knew. And I feel like that kink is attached to him. So I almost feel like, message me. There's things you can do. Fascia maneuvers. If you go to the YouTube and look up Human Garage, they have, that's who I'm getting certified through for fascia maneuvers. Even things like this. But when you do these physical, your mom's boyfriend from your childhood. Yep. Okay. When you do maneuvers to release trauma and energy, it's important to breathe through it and allow yourself to know you're letting go. So like with the right shoulder, you're going to twist it like this. You're going to straighten your arm out. So your arm's straight. You're going to put your hand, and I did this on my shoulder, just side note. Trauma, what the hell? Over the last year. Oh my God. And I found some of it in the joint of my shoulder. And this worked. I actually did this in the pool because I thought it was from swimming, but it wasn't. As much flexibility as you can. Do not overstretch, because then you'll make it a physical injury. Only go as far as you can stretch. And now what I'm doing, this arm's totally relaxed and it's resting on my arm underneath. So my left arm. And you pull down real hard right here and then right here. And you press with your fingertips real hard as you can. And then you pull it down into the arm. Do it with your eyes closed and take really long, deep breaths. Like literally it looks like this. And you breathe out and you just push it down. And as you're exhaling out, just allow yourself, like, it doesn't belong to me. It doesn't serve me. We don't need to carry crap from our childhood, right? So just do that and just let it go. Like, I no longer see him. I no longer feel him. The little girl that was around at that age, which to me feels like about 8 or 9. It's like you were 8 or 9 years old. Visualize her and say directly to her, you are safe, you are loved, and you can go. And say that to her while you're doing this. That'll release that traumatized inner child that you're carrying in that shoulder. Just tell her, it's okay, you're safe, you can leave, I don't need you anymore. Because she's here to remind you of the pain, right? That's the whole point. Like, I'm real big on giving pain, like, attach it to the person of whatever age it was at when you were traumatized. So just do that and just let her know she's safe and she can leave. And that works really well. And you'll feel that. You'll get like hot. You'll get goosebumps. You might even get a little dizzy. Exhale that out. And then you can release her and you can let her go. Okay? Okay, so Kate Lee 814, your sister, to me feels, was she about 23? She feels younger than you. Were you the older sister? Lorraine Edwards 500. You're next. I'll get back to that on for you, Lorraine. I'm just... Kate Lee 814. Only Kate Lee 814. Feel free to respond in bold print so I can see your comments. And thank you again, everybody, for the hearts and all the shout outs and stuff. I really appreciate it. But Kate Lee 814, she feels younger and free spirited, but I do feel like her death, yes, she was younger. Thank you. She feels here and gone. So it feels like it was an accident. It doesn't feel like something that was terminal or an illness. It feels very quick, and it also feels like God, it almost feels like she was like at a party or something, because I feel like there were a lot of people around her and nobody knew what happened. It feels like they didn't really get like an actual what do you say, like an actual, not diagnosis, but cause of death. And it feels in the chest and throughout her neck. Oh, she was in a car accident. Totally makes sense. Okay, so here's the thing. I am not connected to her in energy wise, but I think I will be, because right now I'm feeling her death. And I'm going to describe her death because I can't necessarily see like the car accident and it's taking place, but what I do feel is this. And the way I was seeing it was like she was at a party and there was an accident. So to me, that must be the impact of the car, because her whole body feels clunk, clunk, and then her head like does this. But I also feel like if they took her out of the car, there were people around her, and this is why. She was standing in spirit watching it happen. That's what I'm seeing, and that's where I'm like, she did not know she passed. She literally got knocked out of her body. It was like full-blown, really bad impact. I feel like she was pronounced gone at the scene. If she wasn't, they brought her back and then took her to the hospital where she passed. Because she is showing me that she was like, holy shit. Like she was standing there watching and there were other people around her. She hit the back of a tractor trailer. Okay. And I want her to come through with a message specifically for you, but she's just like showing me stuff. And she's just like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Like, that's what I keep hearing. So in life, was your sister the type to be like, oh my God, you wouldn't believe what happened? And then if she was telling you something, you couldn't get in a word in vertical, because she would just be like, go through the entire story from start to finish. She wouldn't even come up for air. She just couldn't believe it. She'd just talk about, oh my God, oh my God. So, and I mean, like, she wasn't dramatic, but she was always like, had a story to tell. And she would come home from school and be like, oh my God, you wouldn't believe what happened at school today. So I was in English class and I was, and then it was just like, and the reason I asked that is because that's what I'm hearing right now. She's literally like, oh my God, you wouldn't believe this. And I was standing there and I was watching, and there were all these people around me, but I couldn't talk to them. Like, I wanted to say something and I couldn't speak. It was the weirdest thing. And that's how, and her hands are like this, and she talks with her hands and she gets herself going and she gets like all worked up. And she feels like that now, still in spirit. Like she's still trying to figure out, like, she needs to cross over. But I do feel like they brought her back to life at the scene, because it's like she's there and she's watching, and there's about, it feels like 2 minutes, but I think it was only a couple seconds where I'm like watching it and she goes away and then she comes back. So I think for a few seconds there, they were able to get her to come back. But I do think her body was pretty broken, and I think she broke her neck. The neck to me feels just like snap. But it's interesting you said she hit, because I feel it's this way, but it must have been that way if she hit the back of something. But she is with you, and she's also mentioning, so now she's starting to come through. Did she have a dog, like a terrier type dog? No, you're fine. Tifer, if I'm saying that right, Tifer, you can message me at Define Your Glow at my Facebook page, because my prices vary based on the service. But no worries, you're fine. Monica, I will get to you about the whooshing in your ears for sure. There's something going on there. But yeah, Kaylee, it looks like a terrier dog. And she wants you to say, something to your mom. She is saying, I'd realize now mom is always right. And she's kind of laughing about it because I feel like that was a constant issue between your mom and her. She's like, mom's always right. She's like shaking her head like, I wish I would have figured it out sooner. Tell mom I realize now she's always right and I know it's too late, but I want her to know that I know now that she's always right. And I wonder if the terrier dog is their friends because she keeps showing me this dog. It's like a Jack Russell Terrier type dog. Yeah, totally. Okay, thanks. So yeah, she's like shaking her head like shit. I didn't figure it out. I keep hearing gone too soon, like gone too soon. I didn't figure it out. And she wants to thank you for being the big sister. She's showing me you and her are, it looks like you're sitting on her bed and she's crying. I think it feels like a boyfriend type thing. And she's crying really hard. And you're just like sitting there listening to her. And you said something that made her laugh really hard. And she's like, you could always make me laugh when I wanted to cry. And I feel like she was struggling with identity as self. And she was really getting into the party scene kind of heavy. And I do feel like she was with, oh yes. Okay, cool. Thank you. She, I think, with the identity of self, I feel like she was starting to get into a relationship with a toxic boyfriend. And, I feel like he hurt her and she was like crying about it. Like he cheated on her or something, or she saw texts from him or to another girl on his phone or something. And you like made her laugh. Kaylee 18, yes, thank you. So it's like she's saying you always could make me laugh. Thank you for that. Because I really feel like if it wasn't for you giving her those opportunities in life to just laugh through stuff, I feel like she would have went down a really dark path. I do feel like you helped her more than you realize in ways of keeping her away from getting really like self-sabotaging in her life and her choices. I think you helped her with that more than you realize. Because when I look at her in life, she feels like she was outgoing and she was the party girl and no, I'm going to go do this, I'm going to do that. Sorry, mom, you're wrong. I know what I'm doing. It's all about me. But inside, she was like crushed and really insecure and had issues with herself that she was working through. And I feel like you helped her with those issues. So it's a beautiful connection for sure. And she is playing a song, and I think this is her way of just saying she's with you. But it sounds like a Rihanna, like Beyonce or Rihanna song. And you guys used to sing it. What's the song though? It sounds like Rihanna to me. It's like all the single ladies song. It's like that. But anyway, I feel like that was your song. So she's definitely with you. Okay, so thank you for that, Kaylee814. That was amazing. Your sister's definitely with you. Oh, she was a dancer. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, thank you for that. Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, she's with you. She's with your mom. She's around the family. And she misses the dog. I think I saw that you validated that earlier, but I missed the comment. But the dog, she misses the dog. And she's like, give him hugs for me. Lorraine Edwards, 500, about dialysis. I wanted to go over something with your health if you're still on here. I think you put Barb or Bonnie. Is it Bonnie that I saw? I forgot to write down your name. I think it was Bonnie. I'll wait for just a couple more seconds. And thank you for those who are on here. I really appreciate it. Right? Thanks. I can't find her now, though. Okay, no worries. So I'm going to look through. Thank you, Kira. I appreciate that. Okay, Queen of all things. I love your name. Talk about manifesting. Queen of all things. So here's the thing. Queen of all things. Your energy came through hard. Do you have a big family, Queen of all things? Because I feel like a lot of your health is connected to people in your family. Like, it's not even your issues. It's connected to your family and their issues. And it feels like a brother who's like all ego and his life's falling apart and he acts like he's doing great and he's constantly wanting money or I should say borrowing. Like he's like, oh, boo, do you have money? I need money. And then you have a sister that I feel like is just, there's a ton going on around her, like toxic relationship, kids all over the place. She's really struggling financially. She's trying to keep her job. She just has a ton of stuff going on and she's constantly leaning on you for help. And then you also have a best friend who I feel like she blows up your phone. Like she's constantly texting you and it'll be like this, hey, how's it going, girl? And she'll act like, and you'll go, hey, I'm good. And she'll go, and then it's like the second you answer her, she just dumps on your phone of all the problems she has that day. And I feel like she complains about every little thing. Like she wakes in the morning, she complains that she got up late. Then she gets her coffee, she complains that it was too strong. Or Starbucks had a long line and then she complains. It's like constant. And she feels like she's in a really unhappy place. But the hard part is she doesn't mean to be that way. She's just in a really unhappy place. So everything seems bad to her and she's constantly leaning on you. So I feel like when she messages you, she means well, but it's like she's causing you physical pain, like pain in your neck and your back. The chronic pain that you're talking about, I feel like especially it's like in between your shoulder blades. So like you have to do that to stretch out. It feels like there's some right here, just above your waistline, like right above your pants line, like your waistline. And then there's a sharp pain right smack in the center of your back, like right below where your bra strap would be. And then in the shoulders, it feels like right here on the trapezius muscles. And I feel like your sleep is really inconsistent. And I feel like if you sometimes you sleep, but then you wake up and you're exhausted, you're like cloudy in the mind and foggy and you're kind of disoriented. You don't take time for breakfast. You kind of wake up and then you like bounce out the door. And then there's other days where you're like bounce out of bed and then you bounce out the door, almost like you're late. So there's real inconsistent sleep patterns. And I feel like also you stay up late sometimes, like 2 o'clock in the morning, you're like wide awake. And it all feels connected to stress, but it doesn't feel like any of it belongs to you. It's like other people, like I almost want to be like, start setting boundaries or something. It's kind of where I'm feeling, if that makes sense. And I'm looking for comments. Thank you again for the hearts and flowers, you guys. You guys are awesome. Yeah, Christine Louder 815. Private readings. You can go to my Facebook at Define Your Glow. And again, I will never message you through TikTok ever. I will start following more people too. So if you see me follow you, that's me. But I do not have any other accounts. I have a personal account, but I don't have any follow on. I literally use it to see this account. But I will never message you for a reading on TikTok Messenger. If you would like a reading, message me at my Facebook page at Define Your Glow. We'll get you scheduled. And as of now, I'm booked out till mid-April. And my books are booked. It's not like I booked out and then most of the week I'm like, oh, just hanging out. I'm booked. But I do have a waiting list. So if I get cancellations, I can fit people in and then get you in earlier. But it is best to schedule the sooner the better because I book up really fast. But Queen of All Things, let me know. I would like to know what she said because Parko82 said, no, it makes it worse. I have the same issues. I'm curious. What was it that was said that makes it worse? I'm just curious what was commented because I didn't see it go through. And Queen of All Things, feel free to comment in bold so I see it. Oh, I think... Okay. So Queen of All Things, if you're still there, what's happening? Oh, being an empath makes it worse. Okay, you know what? Actually, we're going to talk about empathy. Give me, you guys, don't go anywhere because I'm going to talk about empathy because it's important. Being an empath does not help. Okay, so here's the thing. Once you master reading energy as an empath, because I'm an empath. I'm an empath, and my medium skills and empath skills started very early in life, so I had to master boundaries with energy. So people talk about setting boundaries with people, right? Or pushing away toxic people. It's not the people, it's the energy. When you're an empath, that is like the best gift you can have if you can master it. Because yes, we absorb energy. We feel it. We can walk into a room and go, and we'll know right away who to avoid and who we can talk to and when to leave, right? But for empaths that are just like, I'm an empath, and then they and I'm not, this isn't about you, Queen of All Things, this isn't directed to you, but most times empaths be like, well, I'm an empath. Oh, I can't leave the house. Oh, I'm an empath. I can't go to the store today. Screw that. You're an empath. You definitely go out into the world and learn about it. Figure out people's energy. Once you can read energy, you become a master, and you can use it as a skill set to apply to yourself to levitate and just become this very high energy person, because you will now be able to recognize what energy is not yours and what energy is yours. And you can take your energy and protect it just by knowing that's not my energy. So if you get into a room full of people and let's say they're all toxic, and you feel it and you start to feel negative and you start to feel angry, or you start to feel painful, some empaths, they'll feel pain. They'll be around toxic people and they will physically feel their pain. If the guy next to them, whether it's a complete stranger or whatever, if they had a heartbreak, they'll feel the heartbreak and they'll suddenly feel depressed, and they'll literally start being like, God, I don't have any good friends and nobody loves me. And they will own that emotion. And the reason empaths are the way they are is because they were children that went through trauma that trained them to master feeling energy because they were in survival. So it's very common, and it doesn't have to be abuse. It doesn't have to be the really bad trauma. It can just be traumatic, chaotic childhoods with a lot of people with a lot of energy that put us into a place of our skill set of mastering feeling energy. So with empathy and feeling and absorbing energy, that's where you can start learning. The minute you realize you're an empath, go out in public and sit there and feel it and identify it so that you can learn what you feel like versus what other people feel like. And there are days, I'll be honest, I'll walk into the store and be like, oh, not today, because everything feels like crap. So I know that, and I know it's not me. right? So I can just leave the situation and go about my day. So being an empath is actually like one of the best gifts you can have. It is one of the best spiritual skill sets because it connects you to all energy, all of it. You can read all of it, everything. And once you get really good at it, energy that's in spirit, you can connect to that too. If there's someone in spirit that has a low vibration because they were a suicide or an overdose, you'll feel it. And you'll be like, oh my God, there's a guy in this room, but he's actually passed and he might be attached to her and he committed suicide. Oh my God, that's so sad. She must be an ex-girlfriend. And it happens. It happened to me in the post office. Girl in front of me. I was like feeling super sad. Tears were coming in my eyes. And I'm like, hey, this isn't me. Who is this? Dude, this guy, he died. Like he was in the military. Oh my God, it's her. She's his girlfriend. Sure enough, the girl in front of me had a big old box with a military address on it. She was mailing her boyfriend's stuff back to his parents. He was in the military and he killed himself. So as you master reading energy and feeling it and connecting with it, you can heal your physical body, queen of all things. You can remove pain. So queen of all things, being around people that have all the crazy stuff, you know, your friend and then your family, that everything's busy and everything's going on, you can start to exhale and push it away by exhaling out and just pace yourself. How often you're around toxic people, just allow yourself to like pace yourself. And literally, you guys, when I was in banking as an assistant bank manager, I did that for many years. And this was before I was doing what I do now. And I had some idea of spirituality, but I wasn't as connected as I am now. I'm not even kidding. I'd be in my desk like this. I would just fan it away. People and money, I'm sorry, trash energy. And I'd just breathe it away. And that's one of the best things you can do as an empath. Blow it away. And push it out of your space, okay? So the physical issues you have, queen of all things, I do feel like they are connected mostly to people around you, not necessarily you. And when it's family, yes, it is hard, right? Girl, I feel you. I have a really toxic family. I mean, oh my God, all sorts of drama, all sorts of crazy. And they always lean on the one that's the most like emotionally stable, right? Which is the empaths, because we're holding everything in and we're the ones that can keep our cool. So they lean on us. So it's really important to set boundaries and to just, you know what? I would love to help you, but I can't, because it's, you know, just tell them it's the decision you're making. They have to live through that process. They have to learn from that decision. They can't make a shitty choice and then expect somebody else to help them clean up their mess, right? Like I have a family that, oh my God, so many shitty choices with alcoholism and stuff. And then they would come to me and be like, and I'd be like, well, it was your choice to self-sabotage your life with alcoholism and you want me to clean up the mess? What? How about I just be there for you and guide you, but I'm not going to clean up your mess for you. And that's setting boundaries, and that's me protecting my energy so they can learn from their energy. You know what I mean? So definitely be there for family. You don't have to like turn your back on them, but you certainly don't have to do everything for them either, because sometimes when you do too much for somebody, you are now depriving them, or depriving is the wrong word. You are taking away their lesson and you're making it your own. It was never something you were supposed to learn. It's something they were supposed to learn. But when you do too much for somebody or a person that might be an enabler, they have now taken that energy and have brought it into their space. Now this person missed the lesson and they're just getting on with their life, and they're going to continue to recycle toxic energy and toxic choices that did not serve them, because they know that someone else will come along and clean up the mess. Well, that someone else that comes along to clean up the mess, they're taking on something that's not even theirs to begin with, and now they've taken away from themselves, and now their life and their energy and their purpose is on hold because they're cleaning up somebody else's issues, right? So it's important to set boundaries, and it doesn't mean you're not helping. It doesn't mean you're turning your back on somebody. It just means you're letting them be held accountable to what they have to deal with based on their behaviors and their decisions and the choices they've made. And then you are protecting yourself so you can continue to live, because you might be going through something too, right? Like we all have our issues. We're all going through stuff and learning and growing, and you know what I mean? Yes, empaths. So empaths can struggle with substance abuse. because yes, that absolutely. I don't even have to get into that. Can empaths struggle with substance abuse because they are trying to mask the feeling of others' emotions? Yes. That's why it's so common. And that's why a lot of empaths tend to have addictive personalities, because they're constantly trying to mask behaviors that they can identify because they don't belong to them. But they don't know that. They just know they feel horrible, and they have, like it's common. I'll just, a total general example, like let's say an empath is around somebody that's very toxic and very low vibe. So they own that. And now they're like, oh, I don't have a good life. I don't have enough money. And they're feeding themselves all this negative stuff. Now they try to mask that. And now they're drinking more. Maybe they're doing drugs, or maybe they just start with smoking. But it's a constant recycling of thoughts. That's why when I work with empaths, I'm a spiritual energy coach. And when I get clients that are empaths, I'm like, the very first thing you do, the second you feel your vibe drop, meaning you go from your normal way of thinking to the second that happens, talk to it. Where did this emotion come from? Why am I feeling it? Is it mine? If it's not mine, who does it belong to? And talk to it. And then when you, like, and for myself in banking, I would do this in banking. I worked in this bank, you guys. Oh my God. Everybody, and I love and high vibes. Everybody sucked. They had the worst energy. They had the worst attitudes. Just every single person in this bank was horrible. It was the last bank job I worked at, and I literally walked out. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I will be poor and unemployed before I work in this bank. And these people were just miserable, but it would be like this. I'd be in the bank, and I'd be working, and all of a sudden I'd be like, God, I feel like shit. And I would get like annoyed and angry, and I'd be frustrated and like, and I'd be like, wait, who is this? And I'd have to think about it and be like, is it a client? Is it one of the tellers? Is it my banker? Nope. Oh, it was the investor. The investor was in my office 10 minutes ago, and he was just complaining about his wife and how much he hates his marriage and he wants to get a divorce. And not mine. And I would, done like that. And so as an empath, once you master being able to realize it's not your energy, you can shoo it away like a fly, and it goes away. And then you go back to feeling like yourself. So talk to it, identify it, and that'll help you push through it so that you don't spiral downward into a toxic state and start sabotaging like your own life because of feeling other people's energy. Thank you so much, Kate. Oh my God, thank you. I appreciate that. You're welcome, Queen of All Things. I love, and here's the thing, Queen of All Things. So I'm going to continue with you for just a second. Your energy freaking rocks. And so like when you came through, I immediately wanted to laugh and sing. And I was like, she's awesome. She's one of those people. She laughs when she talks. She smiles when she's not, like when she's not talking. Like I feel like you smile and laugh when you talk, and you're very honest. And I feel like a lot of times you feel very much like, how'd that work out for you? Yeah, you like that? That work out for you? And you like laugh at people when they make mistakes, and you literally like make them see where they screwed up, and then you like laugh about it. And you feel very open in your heart energy and very compassionate, but you also feel very much like close the door. Like I'm done with you. And I love it because you're protecting yourself for one, but I can tell that you know your tolerance level with people, and it makes me laugh because I can tell when someone's tapped you out, you're gone. And it makes me laugh because you seem very aware and very open. And I love the compassion that I feel on your heart, because I can tell you really would do anything for anybody, and your family truly can count on you to the point where it's a flaw. Like they need to take care of their stuff and give you some space. But I do think you have a great energy and you have a really good sense of humor. So it's like once you start setting boundaries and you start learning who to help and when, and like kind of start, you know what I mean? Setting boundaries and just making it more known that you're not going to be there as often, because you really definitely give yourself time for self-care. Get your nails done, stay home sometimes or go for walks and just be in your space and enjoy yourself, because you really have a good vibe and you deserve to truly enjoy who you are 100% across the board. Okay. And thank you so much. There's so many on here. I love it. Yes, right? Self-care is some of the best medicine. I agree. Oh, hey, lady. I got your message. Comment with Luke. Haley, right? Yes. I loved your reading. So I'm talking to user 6899 about Luke. Yes. I got your message. I haven't had a chance to respond because I've been with clients and then I went live. But I saw the thank you for your time. And you're so welcome. And I love how he came through. I love how he had messages for his brother and for you and how he went through everything and like showed me you guys driving and singing and oh my God. Yeah, you're so welcome. But I will, when I'm done, I'll respond to you. I didn't see your message. I just haven't had a chance to get back to you. And thank you for being here, by the way. It's good to see you on here. Autoimmune problems, Kate Freight. Kate Freight. Hang on a second. So don't go anywhere, Kate Freight, because I'm going to get into your autoimmune problems. I'm just tapping into your energy. If you get hot, let me know. Because I'm at your root chakra, which is connected to home, financial stability, like material things and being comfortable in like your physical foundation. There's trauma there that started early, about the age of 2. And then at your sacral chakra, because you're autoimmune, and again, I'm not a medical doctor, but I never have seen an autoimmune disease that was truly a physical illness. Every single autoimmune disease client I've had, they had an unbelievable amount of trauma. Now, when I'm at your sacral chakra, which is the maternal organs, but it's also connected to like your personal power, passion, like what gets you up in the morning. The whole like reclaiming your power takes place in the sacral chakra. Well, it can take place in any chakra, but for the most part, it's usually the sacral because it's like your personal power. That feels like that was completely taken from you in a relationship. And while in this relationship, I feel like the relationship first, and then I think it was is it your mom that passed? And I feel like there was a lot of stress around your mom's passing. And there was a lot of conflict and a lot of disagreement on how to handle not only her passing, because it feels like there was illness and it took her a while, but like also with stuff after her passing. And when you respond, Kate Freight, feel free to respond in bold or not bold, but in caps so that I can see it. And there's also issues with work. Work feels really toxic. And I feel like you're getting to the point where you're like done with it. Like I feel like you're considering other career options. And it's something with, so with your mom, it's her mind. So I think the hard part, let me know if I'm right in this, and I'm looking away. I'm asking, like, comment in caps so I can look away and not see it, but give me a second. I have to look away. There's a lot going on with you, and I'll try not to be too personal with your reading because I feel like I could do a full reading right here and now. But it is around your mom's passing. It feels like it's in the mind, like a dementia or an Alzheimer's thing. And the hard part is watching her decline in health. I feel like there's a brother, and it might be a sister, but it feels like a brother. And he's like all knowing, and he feels like he thinks he knows what's best. Whereas I feel like with you, you just want to do what you know is going to make her happy. whereas the other sibling is wanting to do what's going to be easier for everybody. What you want to do is what would make your mom happy, but it's like more inconvenient. And there's issues about money. And I also feel like while you're going through this, you're being triggered with a relationship with an ex. I feel like you broke up with this person, or the relationship dissolved about a year ago, but you're being triggered. There's a lot going on, girl. Yes. Okay, thanks. Thank you for that. Oh, your brother's caring for her. Okay, thank you for that. Oh, so she's living. Okay, thank you. That just clicked. To me, it just feels like she was passing. Okay. But there's other triggers. It's like I feel like there's a wave behind you and it's pushing on you of stress. Yes, 25-year relationship just ended. Okay. Oh, and she does have dementia. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you for your, looking out for me there, girl. Riley, thank you. I called you Haley earlier. Sorry, Riley. Thank you for that. Hang on one sec. So Kate Freight, so I know you said your mom is still living. However, there is a message coming through from her. So I feel like she is coming and going in body. She has a best friend waiting for her. It's either a best friend or a sister. So much going on, I can hardly breathe. Okay. So she wants you to know there's two things coming through. Hey, Kiwi Nats from New Zealand. I love your country, by the way. I've been there. It's so beautiful. Your mom wants you to know she has a best friend waiting for her, and I feel like it's either a best friend or a sister, but she is waiting for her, and she's going to help her over. She wants you to know she's okay, and she's like, I don't feel anything anymore. She's like this, like, I just don't feel anything anymore. It's okay. She also is saying, just let him do what he wants. It doesn't matter anymore. She's like, it doesn't matter. And I think so my mom does not recognize me anymore, and that's okay. That's why she's coming through now. Because she's coming through from spirit. It's not like she's telling me to tell you like telepathically. She's in spirit. So she's going back and forth in spirit. And I feel like she's telling you now, like, just let it go. It doesn't matter anymore. She's realizing that she's close to passing, and she's just like, let him do what he needs to do. He's always been that way. And she's like this, you know how your brother is. He's always been that way. He likes to know that he's doing what he can do, and he likes to know that he has control. Just let him do what he needs to do. He's always been that way. So, I feel like you're free of any guilt or any emotional issues you might have attached to her passing, because she feels very comfortable with it. Like, it's fine. I'm going to be fine. And there's also, oh, I said that already. Her sister. Sorry. The 25-year relationship, that feels like that was, and please excuse me, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but it feels like you guys were coexisting for like 10 years. And it would have been about 15 years ago. No, excuse me. So 10 years that you've been coexisting. So it would have been about 11, 12 years ago that something happened on his end in his family that caused him to change. She's lost lots of female friends. Okay, so yeah, it's a best friend. Thank you for that. And I feel like this person you were with, overnight, different person. And so it became, I'll give it another year. Nope, I'm going to give it another year. And then you would push through it. And the problem is your autoimmune issues are so strong so you have so much because you're emotionally solid as a rock. Like, you don't react to anything emotionally. When things go bad or when things go wrong, you zero in on the problem and you handle it like a boss. And what happens is people lean on you like she can handle it. And so then it's more for you to handle, which means you zero in more. You completely disconnect from emotion. Well, energy, especially when it's attached to trauma, it goes to the body if we don't react emotionally. If we don't cry and like blast it out of us emotionally, it festers and it sits into our physical body and it becomes illness. And the reason it becomes something like an autoimmune disease is because it can just kind of blend and spread all throughout us through the fascia. It's like the water and the fluid that flows through our body that keeps our tissues and everything flowing. Energy is in that, and it becomes into the illness. So you just have years and years and years of trauma because you've never had a good cry. I feel like, is it your dad that passed? Because there's a man that passed and you never got to even mourn. You literally haven't even reacted to this person passing. And I feel like with your mom, when she got diagnosed with dementia, I feel like that was when your marriage, the 25-year relationship that ended, I feel like that was like at the peak of it being the most awful. And it was like, oh my God, I can't get a divorce now. I got to take care of mom, and I got to do this, and I got to do that. I'll do it next year. And then you had to tough that out. And then it kept going and it kept going. Dad passed 11 years ago. Okay. Yeah. See, you haven't like reacted to that. So it's been this ongoing, like, I feel like you just need to like close the door on everybody and just have a really good cry and start taking care of yourself. Just unplug completely. I don't think you owe it to anybody to continue to be in that position that you're in. You've done so much already to help people and help with your mom. I feel like with your dad passing, there were issues there as well. And again, I feel like your brother kind of tried to take the reins, and I feel like it was the same kind of thing. I can also tell, because I can feel it, you need to crack your neck. Your neck feels really tight, like you need a good crack. Your hips are also really out of line. You feel completely out of alignment in skeletal. That's exactly what I've been doing. I just shut down right there. So I love your reading, by the way, because here's the thing. I freaking love your energy. I just like want to hug you because I know I would feel better if I did, because you have so much love in your space, but you never get to utilize it because you're always taking care of something else and dealing with toxic issues. So continue to just shut down, but don't shut down in a sense of toxic. Like, I just can't take it anymore. I can't do this. Shut down. Instead of saying I can't do this anymore, I can't take it. Shut down, and it's just not my responsibility. It's not mine to handle. And just shut down. Your mom is going back and forth between spirit. So I feel like she will come to you even though she's still here physically. She's literally saying, I'm just a body. It doesn't even matter anymore. So allow yourself to decompress. And I mean, literally just, and don't say, I can't handle it anymore, because it's not that you can't handle it. You don't have to. It's not yours to handle. So just say this. It's not mine. Exhale. I don't need it. It doesn't serve me. I'm letting it go. It's not mine. And just walk away. It's not mine. And release yourself in a mindset of surrender, not quitting. Because you're not quitting. You're done. You don't need to deal with any of this anymore. With your 25-year relationship, I finally got away. I didn't quit. I didn't run and hide. I didn't lose time. I finally ran away. The 25-year relationship is literally, all that is a demonstration of your profound strength. Because truly, anybody else would have left 15 years ago, and they would have self-sabotaged for another 5 years, because they would have gone through like the pity party because of all the things that person has said or done, because they feel very I don't want to say narcissist, but very controlling, micromanaging, kind of blah personality. I don't think they were like that when you met them, but they became that through behaviors around them and how they reacted. They literally like shape shifted into something else. So now you can just walk away. And now your mentality, your mindset should be this. I got nothing but time. I have me. I have my space. I have my heart. I'm going to love myself for a while. It is all about me. Get your hair done. Soak your feet in some Epsom salt. Breathe. Cry. And just embrace yourself. You really deserve to just embrace yourself and be very proud of who you are, what you've done, what you've survived. Your story is written. It's time to stop writing and just breathe. Just and exhale out. And I'm loving you guys too, by the way, the comments going out to her. You guys are amazing. I absolutely, the comments and the love and support to Kate Frey, I just can't even begin. And for those of you asking for readings, message me at my Facebook at Define Your Glow. I will not message anybody through TikTok. That is a spam account. If you get a message for a reading through TikTok, report and block and don't respond because it's spam. So yeah, Kate Frey, you are at a space now where you can exhale. I am so sorry about your mom. I do feel like she's very close because to me, the way she came through, she felt like she was in spirit. Like, she was like, tell her not to worry about it. Doesn't even matter. Her brother's going to do what he does. He always does it anyway. Just let him do what he does. He's always been that way. She was like talking complete sentences and everything. So yeah, I send you a lot of love, a lot of vibes. When I'm done here tonight, I'll send you some Reiki. I'll work on the heart. I'll work on the throat. Don't worry about discussions with your brother. Don't worry about settling anything. Just move forward and just be at peace with yourself and just kind of love yourself for a while, you know? Okay, you guys. So I've been on here for a really long time. I'm tired. But you guys, I love you so much for being on here. Everybody, the comments, the love and support. As I was doing readings, I was catching some of the support and feedback from other people to the person I was reading, which I love. So I thank you so much for that. If you did not get, or if I did not get to you tonight, I apologize, but please message me at Define Your Glow at my Facebook. We'll get you scheduled. I can do a medical reading. I can do Reiki, whatever you need. Let's hammer it out. And then, of course, click follow and follow me for more information and more stuff on energy and healing. I do a ton of readings on my TikTok. I love it so much. It's such a fun platform. So you guys have a really good night. And then again, of course, I will not message you. Don't follow the scammers. They're everywhere. I know that, God, there's like 7 or 8 accounts that are trying to spam people with my videos and my content. And thank you again, too, for the love, the hearts, and all the good things. So I will be sending Reiki to all of you tonight. And those of you that received readings, thank you for your energy. Thank you so much for your space. You guys are awesome. You guys have a fantastic night, okay? Talk to you later.